Okay, today I've come out for a morning fish on the beach. It's probably one of the worst phases of the moon that there is in the lunar calendar, so I can't expect too much. What generally happens on this day is the fish will be really soft on the bite. They certainly lack stamina, so they don't fight like they would at other parts of the lunar cycle, so it's going to be tough. So I'm using a 2-hook rig with a big beach worm, and the only other bait I've got is pilchard. So I'm using a half pilchard and then a full pilchard on gang hooks. And I'll also see if there's any whiting here. I wanted to show that low tide is a pretty good time to fish, even though it's a difficult part of the lunar cycle. But if you can get a nice sand formation out there where there's a bit of deeper water, even if it's low tide, there's often fish there. I think I've got a stingray. They love these worms. Yep. Sitting on the bait. Here gets a stingray again. A little bit bigger maybe. Again on the worm. It's often an advantage to fish at low tide because it gives me the access to deep water in fairly close here. At high tide I'll be lucky to cast that far out into that gutter. So it's a bit undulating, an ideal place for a Jew. There's access back down this way so it can come right in along the edge, pretty much right along the edge at low tide. High tide, a different story. That's deeper water, going to be too far out, but let's hope, fingers crossed, there's going to be something out here. I'm using my 2-hook rig. The worm there. Thread the bottom hook into the worm. And you can always add a little bit extra. A little bit to the top hook, a little bit to the bottom hook. So there we go. There we go. This is on a worm, on a 2-hook rig. I've caught stingrays so far on the worms, and one whiting. Let's hope this is something of the Jewfish family. I've just prayed to God that I get a Jew, then I have a bite and a fight like this. Gives you a lot of faith. I think it might be a Jew. Just hanging out in that deeper water at the moment. Come on, come on. Get over that lip. Try and get him onto a wave. Oh, it's right in close here. Yes, it looks pretty damn good to me. There we go, the 2-hook rig again. Pretty sure it's legal. There we go.
72 centimeters.
Oh, oh, oh. He hasn't moved until I went to get the hook out. So this is the top hook this time. Last one I got this size was on the bottom hook. Anyway, obviously they like the worms as much as the stingrays.
If you're enjoying watching these videos, be sure to subscribe to get regular updates.
The day, despite being overcast, it's just a small swell, probably half a metre, but there's no wind, so it's perfect. I love it. Just saw some dolphins just a little while ago riding the waves out here. Why would you want to be anywhere else? It's perfect. But yeah, this day, it's actually 4 days after the full moon, halfway between the full moon and the last quarter, which is a pretty tough time to be fishing. I feel like I'm getting a bite, like they pick. This is what they do. They'll pick, pick, pick. When and if you do hook them, the fight is negligible, and they certainly don't have any stamina. So it's like they're getting their energy from the moon. So their energy changes as the lunar phase changes. Oh no, I think I've got a tiny fish on. It's oh, what is it? A dart? A dart, little dart. Oh, I could feel what I thought were something biting, but it was just a tiny little dart. Again, look at that, no energy at all. This is the half pilchard. A little bit heavier, but it could be that red weed that's been hanging around lately. This isn't. It's not fighting. The red weed doesn't fight. Oh no, there's a fish on there. Like, a flathead. You little ripper. Woo! You little beauty. Yeah. Nice flatty. Go and measure him just for the record. There we go. About 45 centimetres.
If you're enjoying these videos, be sure to subscribe.
Half a pilchard, so we'll get another one out there. But that's what I was saying about no fight. It's like they got no energy to even fight for their life. Here we go, half a pilly. That's the tail section. And get that out again. right in that little deep pocket. The current's going to the right, but I'm hoping the star sinker has so far been digging in okay. But as the tide gets up, there'll be more water pushing to the side, so I may need a bigger star sinker. That was a bite. Again, that felt like a flathead bite. It was bing, 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 like that. And it wouldn't surprise me for that fish to be on that line and just sitting there. See, on this day, they do various things. They'll pick up the bait often and then drop it again. Pick it up and drop it. Or if they pick it up and get hooked, they just sit there. They don't, like there's no fight. You start pulling them in, all you can feel is the heavy weight on the end of the line, but no fight. Occasionally they might give a bit of a bump, but well, even that Jew that I caught just a little while ago. Oh, that was a good bite. Felt more like a salmon, that one. I think it might be, have it in its mouth still. Here we go. Oh, that's going to have to strike. Nah, not hooked. Unless it swum in, that's the only thing. Oh, must be a salmon. I just saw something come out of the water out there. That'd be good if it is a salmon. That'll be my 4th species for the morning. Or a tailor. Might be a tailor. A tailor! Woo! There you go. That's just come out of his mouth. It's a little bit of white bait. They must be feeding on some white bait out there. It might be a legal tailor. It's got to be 30. Oh yeah, well and truly legal. 34.5. Tailor. Let's get this half pilchard out again and just see what else is lurking out there. So this is pretty much around moonset now, and 3 of those 4 fish that I've caught have been within an hour of the moonset. I've got 4 different species this morning. Firstly a whiting, dewy, flathead, and my rod's just fallen over. I think there's a fish on there. Maybe not. May have just been a solid bite and not hooked it, but then today it's so hard to tell because you're virtually just dragging the fish in. They're not fighting. I don't think there's anything on here. I can't feel any weight apart from the sinker. But I reckon my bait might be gone. Yep, no bait. So something's hit that, pull the rod over, but I've not hooked it. Alright, let's get another half pilchard out. Here's the head section this time. Just run the hook through there once, like that. And then a half hitch around the nose. Okay, I've just cast out a half pilchard, the head section. That star sinker's really digging in. Which is not a bad thing, since that current's going to be picking up as that tide comes in. What I think is happening this morning is that fish are being fairly concentrated into this little section here. It's like the highway, I guess. As they're travelling along, if they're looking for deeper water, they're going to be moving through here. Oh, there's a bite. So with the rod I had the pilchard on, I started off using a full pilchard on gang hooks, but that's not always the best option. Often the fish, when they're in this finicky sort of a mood at this part of the lunar cycle, they will take a smaller bait rather than a bigger bait. So I've gone back to a single hook now. Okay, let's put another tail on. Get it out. I don't know how much longer this bite's going to last. Anyway, no time to mess around. No. Straight onto the hook. Maybe a little bit more on there, just for good measure. A few of the softer tail sections. There we go, looks pretty good. Out there about 50-60 metres out. Pretty much right there. Looks like a bite. This is just the waves hitting the loop in the line. This is the two hook rig with the worm. You just really don't know today whether they're on there or whether they're just sitting there with the hook in their mouth, or whether they've had a go at it and let it go. I'll bring it in, and I don't think there's anything on there. I could be wrong. May have swum in closer, which is not unusual. Now there's some weight on there. Now there's some weight on there. Could be a big ray. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Come this way. nice and gentle. It's moving off to the left. In fairly close. The 20 metres out. The only thing today is you just really don't know, because they don't have much fight in them. Their energy levels are low. Oh, maybe another dew. Mid-morning dew. Must be really careful here. It is too. This way, wash him up a little further. There we go, a small one, but it's still, that one had a bit more fight than the other one. Not that either of them had much fight. So there's both hooks in. That's for the record. It's 61, 62, about 62 centimetres. That's it. Lined up. Oh no, maybe 60. Oh no, there it is, 61 it is. The old legal size used to be 45, which I always said was too small. So this one's 61. Get those hooks out. Get him back in the water. Oh, thick sand in my face. There we go. Let's get him back in the water. Dry sand stuck to him, and it'll come off once it gets a little bit wetter, but they got a slime all over. Off he goes, there he goes. I have no line out in the water at the moment, so let's get this single pilchard back out there, and let's get a worm back out as well. I think there's something on there. It's a bit of a guessing game today. The only way I can tell is that it's gone, the line's gone down to the right. A bit like a tailor. Hopefully he's hooked in the side of the mouth. Oh no, it's another flathead. Or is it? You little ripper. Woo! Not sure what sort it is. It's long, very streamlined. I think it's a sand flathead. Made a mess of that pilchard. Followed the hook. Very good. Happy about that. Stick him on the tape measure. There we go, he's 50 centimetres. Nice little sand flathead. Alright, another worm. I haven't had a worm out for a little bit since I caught that small Jew. All right.
Oh, here we go already.
The lines travel to the right really quickly. I'm sure the current's not going that fast. No, I don't think so. Certainly made a mess of my bait though. Hopefully I can hook up this time. Get some bite. Yep, some weight on there again, but again, not too much energy being expelled. What is it? Stingray again. Oh well, I think that's stingray number 4. I just cast another worm out after catching that stingray. Something with a bit of weight doing absolutely nothing. Yes, stingray number, I think it's number 5. Maybe I should put a pilchard on one of these hooks.
Okay, I'll get this half pilchard out.
Here we go. He's having a bit of a go. This is the half pilchard. Coming in a bit easier now. Not too far out now. Inside that white water, I think. Oh, just the other side of that white water now. He's actually putting up a bit of a fight, this one, and it's another Jew. Hope I can get him in. Yes. So that was half a pilchard. And it's gone around my other line. Let's measure him. Or her. So this one was on half a pilchard and it is 67 centimetres, too small, it's got to go back. Alright, let's put this fella back in the water. You got a bit of energy, mate, compared to the others. I can feel you croaking. Till the next wave comes. Okay, now. Oh. There you go. Well, it's been an interesting morning. The tide's about halfway in now, so I'm going. But pretty happy with getting a couple of flathead. Caught 3 Jews, 2 of them undersized. One was legal, tailor and a whiting. It's been pretty good, except for the 5 stingrays I managed to get hold of. Had a lot of baits taken, picked off. Energy level was quite low on all the fish except maybe the last Jew, and it had a bit more fight in him. Anyway, if you want to see more, you know the drill. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching.